What's going on, Aries? We made it. Another trip around the sun. you Welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're getting ready to kick off your birthday season. Oh wait, do I want to do? Yeah, let's do that, Aries. Let's do. Is it gonna do it? Is it gonna do it? There it is. We're gonna do fireworks and we're gonna do balloons, Aries. We're just gonna do a little bit, but yeah. I hope you are excited to kick off your birthday season there, Aries. This one doesn't actually, we can be a little more informal on this one. This one doesn't have any rhyme or reason. This is your solar return spread. So you're the first sign that's getting to have a second one, Aries. So how was it this year? Or not this year. Yes, tell me if you've already seen the future there, Aries. How's it been? Are you ready for it? But how was this last year? Did it go as you expected? Were there ups? Were there downs? Did the universe do its universal thing? And but how are you feeling? And I feel like this is a time. The solar return is to reflect on what has passed. What are some things that are needing to have been closed out or has been closed out, and where you are taking that going forward? And how you want to grow. How has that experience embody, help you shape who you are. And yeah, so yeah, very 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 deep energy when you get to the solar return. So but I hope you all are, for those of you who have a birthday today, happy birthday. And for those to come, and of course I'm going to see you here soon, Aries. But oh, actually, I just thought of something. So, well, actually, a little bit different. You're feeling inspired with this Aries energy. But yes, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support is just epic, Aries, especially during your birthday season. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy How Yourself has brought you here, and we are in for an amazing journey. Now, with this one, Aries, I'm going to actually, I'll explain what I'm going to do. I'm just going to pull for, I redid the format a little bit for this reading. I'm actually excited how this one's going to go out. I'm going to do this by quarters here. It's going to be real cool, but I'll get into that in a second. But just so you're all aware, Aries, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said there, Aries, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Aries. Spectacular. Now, what I'm going to do here is pull in oracle cards. Let's see, how am I going to situate these cards? Let's do this. So I'm going to pull an oracle card from this deck here, this is the one I only do for the solar returns. It's an angel oracle deck, and that'll be your consciousness that's going to be watching over you for the next solar return. And then I'm going to pull 4 cards from this dragon deck here. One's going to be one for each quarter. And it's going to kind of represent two sort of like the phases that the sun goes through as it travels. We'll talk about where that first start will be for your birthday season, of course. The first, where you may first meet your first challenge, is like in Cancer season, when we get into that square, the sun squared your sun. Then when the sun's opposed, that'll be when we're in Libra. That'll be the 3rd card. And then you see how this is going. 4th is going to be for Capricorn. And we're seeing what we're letting go, what we're releasing, what we're getting ready to make space for coming into the next year. So, if these things happen to line up with how your year goes, please let me know down in the description box below. I'd love to hear how this last energy year went for you. But before we jump into that, Aries, I did decide, I started this thing in the Celestial News Monthly where I am pulling out the Zodiac dice, and we're just going to give them a roll, talk about the planet or point that comes up from the dice and how that may relate to you, the house that comes up, and how that can relate to the Aries energies if you happen to have that as well. So I've been really enjoying it, Aries. So let's go ahead and get into it. Oh, and I love this. I actually know someone who I don't know one of them. Someone I happen to look up their chart, but you have Pluto here, Aries, and that's fascinating. And then you have the first house here, which is your house, and I like this. So let's talk about this first house energy, because I feel even when you couple that with your energy, that's very strong energy, and there's a lot of power here, Aries. And I feel like it's the power in knowing who you are and not being feeling threatened by anything, and having that sense of identity be strong, and having that will to face your fears head on, and it's not easy, doing this yourself, but that's what makes your energy so spectacular, that it's in the face of these hurdles. Aries charges on. Aries has this, and of course, depending on how planets may aspect and things, that definitely changes the flavor of how the energy would work. But just with how this is kind of building up here, or how this little puzzle is built here, I really feel that this is someone who's just trying to find that sense of self-expression, who's trying to find, and this is something I feel that's through some real kind of deep work here. There's no one who I feel like who has this placement that is on this journey right now, but we're moving towards getting to, actually, while we're talking about this, Pluto's in Aquarius right now, and it'll be in Pisces in 2043, and I haven't forecasted quite that far when Pluto will be in Aries, but Pluto is wrapping up his cycle here. He's here soon. He's getting closer and closer. It may seem like that's a long time away, but as you start keeping track of this stuff, the energies, it's fascinating. But I feel that there is this power here with Pluto. Pluto is facing whatever. I feel like this is someone who would maybe have some sort of fears in expression. Possibly there could be that challenge there, because this would be a generational type of aspect. I'd have to look to see how that was looking the last time Pluto was in Aries, but I feel like that would be one where it was a strong time of trying to find who you were, and there probably was a lot of aggression potentially in that assertion, because again, Pluto is a very potent energy, and this is the higher octave of Mars, the sign that rules over Aries. So I imagine Pluto would do quite well in Aries, but I feel there is that potential of being like this kind of domineering type of energy. And I feel that's something you want to be mindful of with that Aries. Because I don't feel Aries energy on a base level is aggressive. Every Aries that I've met has been, there is this life that comes with Aries. I really do enjoy that. And then when it really gets you motivated, again, this is someone here, I feel like there would be the potential to do some very big generational work, to really kind of stand out, to really even have like a community of leaders, in a sense, of real kind of strong personalities, and kind of coming together, being very constructive. So but even to just thinking more so, kind of removing the Aries from it for a moment, and just more so thinking about the Pluto in the first house, this is someone who's going through some deep self-transformation as well. And so this could be for you, Aries, where you're kind of challenging yourself. What are some things that you're wanting to shine a light on? And I feel that is going to be pretty important when we get into that new moon, because we're in a lot of Aries energy, especially if you're starting your birthday season. This is going to be a lot of energy thinking about the self. Where do you have, where are you going in life? How is, this real kind of test of will, and this test of a real kind of strong energy that's kind of coming through there. But I do feel there are going to be some really kind of deep personal transformations that do come in the process of that. And it's just like, how do we process that? What do you want to change into? Especially I feel with Chiron and the North Node being in your sign, that's having been forming these conjunctions and things. It's just all this activity that is happening. this is a very lit time for you. But, it may feel kind of contradictory there, Aries, just because your ruler, depending on when you're watching this, will be moving into Pisces a little bit later. So there is this there's this exhaustion as well. We're letting some stuff go, but I feel like this is the time to be doing some reflective work, be thinking about, do what the solar return is for, to find out where things are going, kind of have this map out, do a vision board, whatever this is, and you get things in order. And this could be, Aries, if this is something that you're curious about, you can book a reading with me. I have links down in the description box below with the services that I'm going to be offering, and I'm still getting this stuff worked out, but I'm going to be shortly here offering a discount for those of you who have their sun in Aries. So, but I'll have more information about that, and I'll honor that whenever I do it. I'll extend it probably into Taurus this season a little bit. So that's something to keep in mind of. Something to keep in mind of there, Aries. But I think that's all I got for you on that. So before I jump into this thing, Aries, these readings that I do, and let me know if you like this, Aries, kind of getting to know, understand how these planets kind of operate in the houses and things, and with the signs. But yeah, let me know if you like that, Aries. But yeah, these readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. Okay. And in case of y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below are some links for some other readers that I really enjoy watching their area, so definitely check them out. They're a fantastic group. I think you'd enjoy them. There is also a link down there for an astrologer that I enjoy, a couple of podcasts that I've been really just been jamming out to, some websites, some all types of tools down there for you there, Aries, some apps. So whenever you find a moment there, you got a little light reading down there for you. Now, yeah, this first card here is going to represent the divine consciousness that's going to be watching over you for the next year, the Aries. So let's see what energy is going on here. Oh, and look at this badass. So you have Raphael here, there, Aries, and this is a card of. He represents the south, as far as like the cardinal direction. He represents air, Mercury, and Gemini energy. And Raphael is the healer of physical ailments. And I kind of like that this is coming up there, Aries, because Aries energy is one that is very focused on the body. The first house is the house of the ascendant. Even thinking about with Pluto in the first house, that's someone who has a very strong presence. They may not even be aware of it, but there is this magnetism that is coming off with that. So, but with that healer of physical ailments, I do feel like that it is being mindful of what your energy does attract. How I feel this is a time where, especially just how things are starting off, maybe kind of take it a bit easy at first, just with Mars being in Pisces. This is a time Mars is kind of in recovery mode right now. Even though there is a lot of exciting energy, this could be one where we're doing some research, getting into this Mercury Gemini energy, and we're going to be having the first Mercury retrograde in your sign. Mercury is going to be in your sign until about May, till about May, I want to say. And that's a bit of a while for Mercury to be kind of hanging out in a particular energy. So this can be a time to just make sure to check in with the body. Maybe we're taking a trip down south there. This could be getting on a vacation, but maybe just exercising more kind of air energy, getting more into a channel that energy more kind of intellectually, get the mind going. But Raphael as well is a card of answers, prayers, recovery, travel safety, healing, pain relief, health, and wellness. So this can, I feel like, be 1-2 areas of just making, again, general kind of self-care here, being a bit more mindful with the power of this vessel. Because I know sometimes, we can feel real strong, we can feel, feel this sense of invincibility in a way, but I do feel like Pluto is that recognition that we do have a finite time on this realm, and that, but also in a reminder that in that truth, there's a lot of emotion and a lot of power to that, because Pluto rules a very emotional signs, Scorpio, that they can feel so intensely, so deeply, and they can just get down to the depths of it. So I feel this could even be where we're starting to understand maybe some things that have been kind of off with the body. Maybe there's been something that's been, gaining more knowledge about something. Maybe you've had like a knee that does something weird, or maybe there's this, just. And again, Chiron is the wounded healer, so you have this lot of recovery type of energy. And this may not, even just thinking with the Gemini energy, this might be something more kind of mental there. Maybe this is how we're viewing our self-image. Maybe this is however that may be working for your Aries. But yeah, definitely a time of learning yourself and really kind of being perceptive to the body's needs in a sense. The number 4 is a very stable energy, energy of foundations. And so be mindful of that. I know it's a very active energy, but I feel there are other ways you can be active and be intentional too. And maybe that's even finding a way to blend the two a bit more. Be mindful of travel. Not that you can't travel, but just be mindful about any sort of speeding, just any sort of things like that. Making sure that we are just having, I'm getting even just like, making sure that we have even just like if you happen to go travel, let's say camping and things, like of course, like first aid kits, even if it's just something just short, just making sure we just have the tools on hand. Better to have it and not need it than need and not have it. But then this last energy here, a few more things. So he has a little quote down here that says, ask for healing or protection from bodily harm during travel and for help finding a lost love. And that's very interesting, because that lost love, I feel like, can be this sense of self in a way, find, where we may have been surrendered our power in some sort of way. Pluto invites us to get that back. Get your sense of self back, and do so boldly, I feel, with that Aries energy. And so I feel when you do, when you're needing that sort of divine energy or protection, or I feel like it's like there's something here about just like tuning into the natural wonders, even I feel like of the body, paying attention to how it can heal. It's even getting like more so like a preventative maintenance type of energy for you, Aries. Learning about maybe some different teas that you maybe can work with. And this isn't medical advice or anything like that there, Aries. But, on top of with whatever you do, maybe there are different vitamins that we can work with, or different seaweeds, or maybe there's working with different even spices, even incorporating more. My, my mom always tells me that, or they have my stuff kind of section off the seasonings that I use, and she describes how I make the house smell is a very medicinal type of smell, because I use a lot of like thyme, and I love thyme and rosemary, and just like real kind of herbaceous stuff like that. That's my jam. I just got some black cumin seed the other day. Oh, don't even get me started, Aries. But this could be doing some things along those lines. I do feel that there is an energy of not letting the idea that something is going to happen to be a reason to restrict you from doing something, Aries, because something could always happen. And again, I'm not saying that it will, but it's something may happen, but also something may not happen. It may just be, and I feel like it's being mindful of, there's a way you can prepare for so much, but I feel like try not to overwhelm yourself, because Mercury and Gemini can be it can be a lot when you're thinking about that, because Gemini is more than just like just thinking communication. It's what we perceive around us. It's before the thoughts even form. Like and that's a lot that's going on when you really think about that. So yeah, just be mindful of that there, Aries. And then the last thing on here, they have some gems to work with, days to work with, and some just a little little last minute thoughts or last thoughts from Raphael. Malachite may be a crystal that you want to consider to maybe do some research on, see if it's one that maybe resonates with you, something that you could see working with in the future. Wednesdays, which are Mercury days, by the way, there, Aries, may be a time for a and that is a very constructive time for doing research and things, and for socializing, for working on the internet, things along those lines. So Wednesdays might be a very favorable day for you, Aries, to kind of pay attention to in recovery. I feel like this maybe for some could be a year where we're just kind of taking it easy. Especially if your solar return maybe happens to have that Mercury retrograde in the chart, that's a time to slow down, a time to catch up. It's not that you're not doing anything, but maybe you're just kind of getting some stuff in order this year, as opposed to starting up some kind of big projects or anything along those lines there, Aries. So something to really kind of pay attention to. And the fourth card, even just thinking about that, Aries, that's Emperor energy. And so the Emperor is wise, and as far as he knows when to push and when to pull back. So, all right, now let's go ahead and get to these next energies. So these are like Dragon Oracle cards. They're pretty sick. And so I'm gonna pull I'm gonna get 4 of them all together here, Aries. And then, yeah, these will represent when the sun is in just like forming different aspects, like I was saying, when you'll have that waxing square, the solar opposition, and then you'll have that waning square, and then then we'll talk about that waning square. But this will be for the start of your birthday season, Aries season. And actually, I'm just gonna pull that as we go. So take care of yourself. So let's talk about this. So you have the Source Dragon card for this quarter here, Aries. And so this will be, we'll just kind of call it this will be for Aries, Taurus, and Gemini season. Now, this Source Dragon is about the Source Dragon attunes you to the infinite. And this card says, be still. In the silence, magic can happen. Be in the moment. And I feel that's very important for you, Aries, especially, again, starting this season off. Mars is in a very intuitive, talk about being connected to source. Mars is connected with his really those higher forces there. And that energy's being fueled by Neptune. Neptune is the modern ruler of Pisces. So, and she won't be in this energy, too much longer. She'll be eventually moving back and starting her new 100 some odd year cycle in your sign. I want to say it's like 140 years or something like that. But she'll be starting again in your energy, which is going to be fascinating. And she'll be over there for a little over a decade. So this, I feel, is a time for you to kind of start getting tuned into that frequency there, Aries, to allow yourself to recover, to convalesce and be still, to let that connection, to maybe do, and again, it doesn't have to be where we're just like sitting in like a cross-legged pose, but this could be maybe we're doing some gardening, something where you're being intentional, but we're not overexerting the body. We're exercising different types of muscles there, and in that silence, see what things come up for you, how you notice yourself. Look at this infinity sign, you tuning in, getting in the flow with the energies of the universe. Because I feel that Neptune energy is gonna do something really cool for you, Aries. And you may be a little cloudy at first, kind of incorporating all of this. And I feel this is a time, I feel, to start off being very intentional. Really kind of tuning into where you feel is going. I'm gonna get your cards here, Aries. I'm gonna get 3 cards for each of these. But yeah, let's see what's going on here, Aries. Oh, all right, Aries. Thank you, higher self. Fascinating. So you have the 6 of Raphael, the New Beginnings card, which is the 20th card, the Judgment energy, Pluto. So this power Aries playing a big picture into here. And then you have the Chariot card here, Aries. Now with the Six of Raphael, this card here is embrace your inner child, new friends or rekindled new friend or rekindled relationships, children or childhood. And this could be, I feel for you, Aries, this could be the start of getting in touch with that, again, that inner child. There may be some past healing that needs to be done, some things we need to reflect on here, because then when we have the Chariot, this is a card of, has determination and self-control, career advancement, and acknowledgement of success by others. You know, I feel like this is going into, as you begin to heal these past things, I feel that this starts to, it's like you start understanding some subconscious and maybe even unconscious sort of programmings that may have happened. And again, that's Pluto work, pulling up these, doing this kind of shadow work that's going down there. Because this New Beginnings card is starting a new life, finding your purpose, a forgiving and compassionate review of the past. So the Six of Raphael and this New Beginnings card here, I feel like in order to do some moving on, we're just going to need to do some healing first, some reflecting. I know you may feel determined, wanting to get things going, wanting to get things, but I feel when we force stuff, then that can get in the way of the career advancement. And you know, when these energies are happening, when we first start in these Aries energy, it's forming these conjunctions, and conjunctions are interesting. They're a blend of energy. So it's like you're feeling all this excited energy that's happening, but it's just, I feel like it's just translated in a more internal type of way. Mars wants us to move forward more consciously. But I feel like it's just like we can maybe misinterpret that idea of success and things, which I do feel is coming for you, Aries, with this. But yeah, there's this understanding, this sense of self, and I feel like even who you are and where you come from, and I don't mean just like in where you were born, but that just like attuning to that energy of source. And it was even asking, when you're asking for healing and for protection, and you're alone and you're in that kind of vulnerable state, where does that bigger, larger than life sense of you kind of come in there, Aries? Hopefully that word salad made sense, but I like that, Aries. Very, very inspiring here. Yeah, let's get your next card here. Aries, I feel like this energy is inviting you to just be with that, in that being in the moment and being present. I feel like it's you seeing things in a new way, especially just with that Mercury and Gemini energy. I feel like this is like something here is like revitalizing, even again, like your self-esteem. I feel with that, just it's very fascinating what's coming through here. Thank you, yourself. But let's see what else you got. Oh, and so speaking of Neptune, all right, so you have the Aquamarine Dragon from Neptune. Love that. And this is a card of enables you to access your deepest soul wisdom. Spirituality and wisdom are available to you. Develop your psychic abilities and receive ineffable soul knowledge. And that's basically what I feel Mars is trying to do right now. I feel Mars is going at a very unique kind of clip right now with his pace, and it's that, like, it's just something that I feel just kind of really tuned into this Mars energy in Pisces. Something's very fascinating about that, just with all this real kind of, because when we have that, again, that eclipse, the sun, the moon, Mercury, and Venus are all going to be in Aries, on top of the North Node and Chiron all being in Aries. So it's stacked in Aries, but it's all fueled by Neptune, which is so interesting. So I just feel that this is a time to develop that sense of that instinct, get a better, like, kind of like more control, understanding that you can't control, the only thing you can control is your reactions to things there, Aries. And this, I feel like, is just you diving into this, again, this depth here with all this double Pluto energy coming through here with this new beginnings and there's that Pluto on the dice here. And when you I like that it's talk about a forgiving and compassionate review of the past, because Neptune is a very compassionate energy. I'm going to get your cards here, Aries. But Neptune is a very compassionate energy. And if you, this is a time, if there's a part of you that you don't love, it's time to learn to love that side. Because even the sides that may not have been favorable times on our journey, they've shaped this who we are. They've played an important factor, and they help us to, love that little bit of Raphael energy here. But well, right there, Aries. Okay, so, but let me see what's going on here. All right, so you have the 2 of Raphael, the 6 of Gabriel, and the 5 of Michael here. Now, the 2 of Raphael, this is a card of 2 hearts dedicated to creating something wonderful. Kindred spirits, don't give up on those you love. And, Aries, there may be for some where, and I like how there's this Caduceus here. This guy, Raphael, has a Caduceus. There's that there. I feel there's a potential maybe here to... That's interesting. I'm getting like an exercising the power of forgiveness for some. This could be forgiving some sort of past mistakes. This could be even, I'm feeling it as a potential, like maybe a split that has happened, or maybe something that might happen. But I like that don't give up on those you love, because even if things happen to part ways and they don't go how how you expected, I feel that when you send that love and kindness towards that person or those, that situation anyway, it just helps it have less power over you. You keep that sense of autonomy. You send that forgiveness, that love and light, because you can't control how that may have happened, but you can control yourself moving forward. And I like this 5 of Michael here, because this energy is a card of, this situation doesn't serve you. Release your attachment to the outcome. Consider taking a more uplifting approach. And that's what I feel like this energy of forgiveness coming through here is so invaluable, I feel, in this energy, because in that now we've made space, we've made forgiveness, we're not holding on to that, and new things can come in through here, because then you have this 6 of Gabriel card here, Aries, which is a card of congratulations. You've done a wonderful job. Time to move on to the next part. So let me put a little more life in that. Time to move on to the next project. Awards, scholarships, or promotions. And I feel like this can be a promotion. And this could be actual, like an actual promotion there. I feel like this is not necessarily a promotion in like a group or a friends or anything, but more so, but more so in the sense that you've decided to work on this self-development, started to grow, started to access this deeper wisdom, and now you're attracting those who are in resonance with you, who are also attuned to the infinite or tuning into that. And that can be very healing energy with this sense of, because I am getting a sense of this community that is coming with this six of Gabriel here, and being around people where it's less of a competition and more of we're challenging each other. We're pushing each other to be the best versions of ourselves, as opposed to who's the best, because what does that solve? But very, very interesting there, Aries. Let's get your next dragon card. yourself. So yeah, that was for around. Oh, and how appropriate! I was gonna say that's for Cancer season, and I kind of like this. We had this little bit of heat for the Source Dragon, got this water, and now we're kind of in. That would have been like your first square. So maybe now we're trying to figure out what that is. But now we're getting to Libra energy. Well, roughly, just for purpose's sake. So you have the Earth and Water Dragon here, Aries. And this is a card of creates the foundation for new growth. I like this. And this is a fresh start is coming with new opportunities. Nurture your ideas and harvest the abundance. And that's kind of nice that this talk about harvesting because that is around the time when the harvest is happening. You know, we're getting into the autumnal equinox but I feel this is a time, you know, when we're starting off the year, because you are the initiators of the Zodiac, Aries. This is a time for new growth, for new sense of self, for shedding this old new beginnings. You got a lot of fresh energy here, a lot of congratulations, energies of release, kind of reviewing some past stuff here. And I feel like that's how we're working with the solar return very intentionally. You know, and I feel like even going forward, just getting into the use of that practice, because I love the combination of earth and water, because that is I feel like a recipe for a garden. You know, we're really kind of building something here, and it's under this light of the moon energy here. And I mean, you have, you know, the full moon lunar eclipse and this new moon total solar eclipse that's going to be happening. So it's just like, yeah, so many opportunities for so much big things to happen. You know, maybe we're traveling to, and again even with the Chariot, you know, this could be maybe we're moving to a new place, but I feel there's an understanding of why we may be doing that's coming through here. Just something to be mindful of, make sure we're not running from something. And you know, allowing that healing to happen there, to get some relief, I feel, from the pain that that Raphael's talking about on his card. But thank you yourself. Let's see what's going on here. Ooh, and look at this energy and these lovely ladies. So you have here's the sun here, Aries, and then you have the Queen of Raphael and then the Queen of Michael here. Now the sun, this is Archangel Uriel. Oh, and I didn't mention there the other ones here for the majors. This is Archangel Metatron, this is the Chariot, and Archangel Jeremiel is the new beginnings. But Uriel is the sun, and the sun is exalted in your sign, Aries. Does very well, because I feel like the sun is about that sense of identity, that self-creative expression, and you're the energy that pushes it through boldly. The sun is life is wonderful. Thrive through the power of positive thinking and inspiring success. And I feel like that's really, really lovely here, combining that with the Queen of Michael, because there's a lot of clarity that's coming through with this as we're going through this journey. I like how this Pluto the new beginnings in the Chariot, as we're going towards this stuff, we're working towards the sun. And this Queen of Michael, she's a card of brilliant, self-reliant, insightful, humorous, and you know exactly what to do. The benefit of experience, a time for your career rather than relationship. So that might be something to think about. You know, maybe we're not necessarily cutting ourselves out of love, but maybe we're just shifting the focus, maybe a little bit for some of you. But I do feel that, and that's an interesting kind of contradiction there, because you have the Queen of Raphael here, which is a card of kind, understanding, giving, and psychic. And she's a card of follow your heart, a love of home and family, trustworthy psychic information. So I feel like this is being flexible with that change, you know, with where things are going. This is one where I feel like your head and your heart are really going to want to be in alignment as far as like where you're going. And I feel like between this brilliant mind and this strong psychic information here. I mean, you're shining bright there, Aries. You're really bringing it. You're creating this new foundation of for you and who this like this again this sense of new sense of who you are, and doing some healings and seeing stuff in a whole new kind of light there, Aries. I really like this. Let's get your last card here. Oh. All right. Thank you for yourself. Last energy here. You have the Lilac Fire Dragon. And this is a card of transmutes through the power of divine love. Open up to transcendent love and enlightenment. Purity of heart brings peace, hope, and joy. And so, couple that I feel with the sun. This is very optimistic energy, Aries. This feels very, very insightful is the word that's coming to mind. The sun, after the sun enters into Aries, he'll be having a conversation with Pluto shortly thereafter. They'll be forming this sextile energy, and that's Pluto supporting this growth of the sun. It's supporting this new inspiration, this deepness that's happening here, this introspection, these actions that are be taking from the lessons that we're learning, from tuning in with Source, from welcoming in this love for ourselves and feeling more inspired, doing more things and listening to more things and being this loving energy. A lot of cool stuff here, and I feel like it's like as you're healing this, because I feel like this with be mindful with this energy of healing, Aries, because sometimes I feel like when we feel like something is healed, then we just stop, and I feel like we want to keep it in the minds of, or in the more context of growing. This healing is allowing us to continue to grow, because if we don't heal, then the growth stops. So just something I feel like just to be aware of there, but make sure to treat it with a lot of, and look at this Ace of, treat it with a lot of love, absolutely. Hold on, here he's, alrighty. Thank you for yourself. Last little bit here, Aries. I had a, how lovely. So, here's Archangel Raphael here, really kind of doubling down on this energy, Aries. So you have the Lovers here, Archangel Raphael. You have the Ace of Raphael, and then you have the Page of Ariel here. And let's switch back over here, Aries, because I like this. So the Lovers is Gemini energy. We're talking about that. And Archangel Raphael is about make choices from your heart, deeply emotional commitments, and the power of love. And this doesn't just have to be a romantic love, because then we had the Queen of Swords talking about this is not the time to be focusing on relationships. But I feel that when it's talking about this, I do feel that the relationship that we're working on with self, because when we're working on that, we are working on our relationships with others, because we're learning to meet others on a different level. We're feeling this sense of empathy. There's the Ace of Raphael is this card of a positive new emotional experience, fulfilling romantic relationships, and deep and lasting spiritual insights. And this could really, I just feel like there's a strong love for self, first and foremost, Aries. Do put a lot of that there, and be selfish, and I don't mean like in just like, and when you need to take some time and be with yourself, you need to do some things. I feel like you have to be where you need to explain anything. This is just like, because then you got the Page of Ariel here, which is a card of reliable, clever, educated, and balanced. And this is an excellent opportunity will be offered to you. Scholarships or the pursuit of education. Time to get to work. And so I feel this is going to be a time where you're just kind of focusing more on you, where you're kind of going. I feel there are some relationships that are being healed in the process. I feel there, Aries. You know, and this doesn't mean like that love is not going to come or anything along those lines, but for those of you who are wanting the career to be the focus, this can be something I feel very successful for you, something very, you know, a lot can be accomplished here. For those of you thinking about relationships, this I feel can be where we can start healing some stuff. They're meeting each other on a different type of level, having this, because Gemini energy is one that sometimes can just do a lot of talking, but we want to do an equal amount of listening as well. Let the, you know, let each twin have a side at the table. This two of Raphael here, this different communication, but healing conversations, coming with this sense of tact, very kind of what you can learn from your opposite sign, Libra. You know, their Libra does have a way with bringing the peace, and in a balanced sense, you know, at a high vibration, there's it's not this self-serving, self-sacrificing energy. It is an equal compromise where both parties gain something and lose something. But I like this energy, Aries. This I feel like is very, very productive for you here. You know, definitely a chance to just kind of reflect on what are some things that were holding you back and how you can move forward from that. But if you like that Aries, or if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. And share this, Aries, if you know someone who's been needing to maybe meet themselves on a deeper level, or has been in need of a divine start, maybe in need of a divine start. Look at you, Aries, just so and so inspirational. Maybe been feeling a little bit disconnected from themselves, because you know it's very strange when you, not very strange, but when the first house energy is having troubles being expressed, it's tough to watch. I know someone who has a Cancer rising and has a lot of troubles with emotions, and will swear up and down is not emotional, but everybody sees it. And it's not to put them in a box, but it is something to like, hey, you may operate in this a bit more than you think, and it's just something to keep eyes on. Like, with this knowledge, well, how do you feel we could express this a bit? You know, express this in a way that gets you maybe feeling more in alignment, get you feeling more like yourself. You know, get you feeling more, and just something to explore if how you've been going about things hasn't been quite jiving. You know, that's something to kind of check in with their Aries, because that is a tough energy. And you know, that's wherever Aries kind of comes up for you. You know, that energy's trying to express itself, you know, to be confident in that energy, whether this be Venus and Aries, you know, show confident in your relationship with others, learning to work together, but to keep that independence. Or this is whether it's Mars and Aries, or I know quite a few people who happen to have Mars and Aries, or you know, however this may be looking like Aries. Yeah, definitely share this, and then subscribe there, you Raphael, because that was sick. Archangel Raphael's got your back there, Aries. Hit that bell button to get notified on all these videos each week. And then last little bit, you know, after we get done, because you got a hot ticket to come over to my other channel, but maybe you have a Cancer rising, or maybe have been having a Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Come on over to the chariot and friends at Aries. I do videos Monday through Friday there, the occasional weekend, because that's the channel where I focus more on lunar shenanigans, since Cancer's guardian is the moon. And I talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, when she's going void, of course, and all that housekeeping, Aries, is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise card here so I can get you out of here. Interesting. All right, so you got the Two of Ariel here, Aries. And this is a card of, it's important to have balance. Working multiple jobs or projects at once, and making work fun. So I feel that this energy here is getting you, because I do feel that Aries is one that is an active energy, but I feel you want to be mindful of burnout. You know, doing some things that rejuvenate the body too. Like I was saying, like we can be you don't have to be where you're like pumping at the gym every day. Just for example, you can do like I was saying, doing something, move the body, but be intentional. Maybe doing some yoga, or maybe doing some sort of tai chi or something that is just tuning into the flow of the body in a different type of way there. But it is important to have that balance, to stay motivated, to be healing. But it's like how I was saying, it's like this can be a year where you may not be starting up new things, but maybe we're getting caught up this year in preparations for the new beginnings to come. Or we can see, what things that we may have needed to tie up this past year to get things kind of kicking off this year and beyond. Because I do feel this year is one of getting a foundation, because it's going to be fascinating, I feel, when we start getting into more heat and more fire with the outer planets moving into your sign. Saturn's going to be moving there, and they'll officially settle in, and they're going to be flirting next year between your sign and Aries and Pisces. So if you have any early points of that Aries energy, you'll probably be feeling that quiet, be feeling kind of sensitive to that. With this Pluto retrograde that's been going on in between Capricorn and Aquarius, Pluto's hit my moon placement. He's gonna hit it 2 more times this year, and then we'll be done. But it's that type of stuff there. You want to pay attention to those type of energies. What is that trying to teach you? And yeah, that's been an experience for me for sure. But it's been one that has been very growing there. Kind of did some inner child healing there. Got some eyes on some things. So it's exciting stuff there, Aries, when you're doing this work. But yeah, find a way to make it a little more fun in your time there, Aries. It can be very rejuvenating for you. And it seems like healing is definitely in your health and things is the name of the game. So, and maybe even a little bit of travel. Maybe this is going on vacation, but you stay safe on those travels. Book stuff. I feel like this energy here is giving me stuff of like book ahead of time. Leave with plenty of space. Between like flights and things. Just sort of like the usual sort of stuff. If we're gonna have a long wait, maybe take a book, take some stuff to occupy yourself, but raise that vibration through the roof, Aries. Go get it, because there was a lot of success here. Choosing from the heart, coming from an intuitive space. I'm with it, and beyond. Because I feel, one more thing, this year, your ruler is going retrograde at the end. I want to say at the end of towards the end of the year, Aries, around Capricorn season is when he's going to be, or will we be in Cap? No, it'll be right before Cap, tail end of Libra season. So, tail end of Sag season, but you get what I'm saying. So, but yeah, your ruler's going to be going retrograde. So, then he'll be retrograde between Leo and Cancer. So that's going to be some interesting energy there for you as far as creative self-expression and that kind of inner emotional work as well. So, he's moving halfway through the zodiac before the end of the year, but that's going to be, just pay attention to that there, Aries. Tune into what Mars is doing, and pay attention during that time around December or during that Mars retrograde. And I will catch you on the next one. Actually, if you watch the weekly downloads tomorrow.